U.S. stocks, they took a beating today. Let's get right to Courtney Donohoe at the New York Stock Exchange for the brutal details.
Well, a huge tumble today, and it's all about concerns about our economy. Lots of questions to answer. Are we in a slowdown in a recovery, or are we in a double-dip recessions? And what do you listen to? Do you listen to those downbeat economic reports or optimistic company forecasts? And should the Fed have done more yesterday to stimulate the economy? Well, economic reports coming in one by one, pointing to a slowdown. There's high unemployment, cash-strapped households, tight credit, and a struggling housing market. And today we got another tough economic report. Trade deficit unexpectedly widening in June by a record $7.9 billion. Imports rising and shipments abroad declining. The almost $50 billion gap, the biggest since October 2008, and the wider trade gap showing the economy struggling even more in the second quarter than the government expected last month. But companies, they've been giving us a different story, Pimm, throughout the earnings season. Companies have been coming in one by one with strong forecasts for the second half of the year. But getting to today's stats, the Dow falling 265 points. Almost every member of the S&P fell. 5 stocks were higher, and 10 major industry groups, they all finished lower. And investors, they flocked to the safety of government bonds. The 10-year yield at its lowest level since March 2009. Oil falling the most in 6 weeks on those concerns of economic weakness here and in China, and the dollar gaining the most in 19 months against the euro.
Now, Courtney, the Obama administration providing aid to states to handle the foreclosure crisis. What are some of the details?
Yeah, well, the administration offering $3 billion to help reduce foreclosures. The Department of Housing and Urban Development providing $1 billion in zero-interest loans. And they plan to make loans of as much as $50,000 for people to make mortgage payments in hard-hit local areas. And the Treasury Department will also send as much as $2 billion in aid to 17 states and D.C. Housing continues to be a huge drag on the economy, so the Obama administration hoping that this will help stabilize the housing market. California is going to get a bulk of that cash, Pimm.
Now, Courtney, Cisco earnings, they came out after the bell. They beat on earnings per share, but not on sales. The stock falling, right?
Yes, definitely. Sales rising less than expected. $10.8 billion. EPS beating by a penny at 43 cents. Shares definitely falling. Companies, they're reining in their spending because of the weakening economy. Goldman saying that spending by companies on equipment to handle data, videos, and messages will slow to 4% next year. And that's as the economy continues to struggle.
Thank you very much. Courtney Donohoe reporting from the New York Stock Exchange.